10 reasons why the UK is the best country in the world. Hi, hello, and welcome everyone. Today we're going to be watching a video from the channel The Geography Bible. A video that's a little older, 4 years to be exact, and it talks about 10 reasons why the UK is the best country in the world. Let's find out together, shall we?
Just in case you didn't know, the United Kingdom is a sovereign country. It is a nation within its own government and has a seat at the United Nations. Its full name is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Great Britain is the larger island that contains Scotland, England and Wales, and then the United Kingdom contains Northern Ireland too. Hey guys, Sam here from the Geography Bible. I hope you are having a fantastic week wherever in the world you may be. In this video, we will give you 10 reasons why we think the UK as a whole is the greatest nation or nations in the world. Now, of course, just like any other country in the world, the nations that make up the UK are not perfect and they have plenty of issues of their own. And Britain has a very turbulent past. Throughout this video, we will try to stay out of politics and keep it quite light-hearted. So let's kick off this video with number 10, the accents and language. Although most of the world thinks that the British people all sound like the Queen or news reporters, this couldn't be any further from the truth. Yes, there are many people who speak the Queen's English, also known as received pronunciation. However, with so much history and different regions across the UK, you will find many different accents and dialect. From Scouse in Liverpool to Geordie in Newcastle to Glaswegian in Glasgow, every accent sounds completely different from one another. You can literally drive 30 to 60 minutes away from where you live and you will find someone with a completely different accent to your own. The UK is also extremely multicultural, so you will find many different international accents across the country too.
Okay, so the accents and the language, and I have to agree to that 100%, because I love the English language. I really do. And I love almost every single accent from the UK, at least those that I do understand. Because going through a show like Doctor Who, with so many seasons or series, as the Whovians say, watching hundreds and hundreds of episodes with thousands and thousands of different actors from all places in the UK, sometimes it wasn't easy to understand certain characters depending on their accent. At least for a foreigner like me. However, over the years, I kind of have learned to understand most of them, and I think there are not many anymore with which I would have a problem if I heard them. And also what I have experienced at least is that even though some people do have stronger accents, they kind of dial it back a little bit if they talk to a non-native speaker like me and they try to speak a more clearer English in order for me to understand a little better. That's my experience. We kind of do the same in Germany here, although there are certain accents that I think would never dial back for anyone. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to offend anyone, but those who know. And also in Germany, we do have accents that are easier understandable, but also accents that are almost impossible to understand for somebody whose first language isn't German. And it depends on the state you're traveling to. It changes from state to state and sometimes in between states. So that's quite similar to Germany. However, I do think, at least this is my personal opinion, that English is a way more beautiful language than German is. The way it sounds, the way it feels when you speak it. Maybe it's just due to the fact that I'm a native German speaker, so it doesn't feel exciting to me to speak German. That might be the case. However, I really love speaking English. You might be able to tell. So I really do love the language.
Across the country too. Number 9, it's breathtaking scenery. The UK is home to some of the most beautiful scenery in Europe, if not the world, especially in Scotland. The first thing people think of when they think of the UK is probably London, a huge urban concrete jungle. However, if you adventure outside of the capital, you'll find some absolutely stunning countryside. The UK also has incredible beaches too, from the tropical setting in St. Ives and the Scilly Islands to the pristine white sand you will find in the northwest of Scotland. The Isles off the Scottish Highlands,
Yeah,
such
I've
as the
seen
Isle of
that in a
Skye,
video
offer
before.
some of the most breathtaking views you will ever see. Number
Agree,
8, it has
100%
different
agree.
countries. The UK comprises of 4 different nations, each with their own culture, history, and dialects. And although they claim to hate each other, I think this is generally a myth which is exaggerated on
I can agree. This is, over most parts, a myth. And I can tell because I've gotten so many comments about this little detail that the one person whose video we watched said in the video, where he or she, I can't remember, said that the different countries really hate each other. And the comment section was full of people, like my comment section was full of people telling me that this is actually not true. And if there's any rivalry between countries, it's mostly due to football and not really due to the fact that they hate each other. And there's like more of a banter going on between the countries and the people other than real hatred. So I can confirm from my comment section, from what I know of other people who told me, this is a myth for most people.
social media. I've met so many incredible and which is exaggerated on social media. I've met so many incredible and
Oh my
friendly
God, look
people
at-
from Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland who are very similar to me, but with just a different accent. Each country is rather similar. They usually have 1 or 2 large main cities, then plenty
That's
of
the Harry
smaller,
Potter tree,
charming
isn't it?
towns and villages with beautiful countryside in between. Number 7, it has London, often regarded as being one of
It's
the
London.
greatest cities in the world. Love it or hate it, you have to admit, London is one of the most important and influential cities of all time. People from
Yeah.
all corners of the planet come to the UK to visit, to live, or to study in London. Yes, it is busy and it's expensive, but it offers some of the most desirable jobs.
This view brings me back to my holidays in London immediately, because before I went to London, I come from a very, very small town in Germany. And before I went to London, I had never in my life seen a real skyscraper like those. When I got off the train in London and I saw this very first skyscraper right in front of my eyes, it felt so impressive because it felt unreal, because I had never seen anything like it, anything that big. The biggest thing that I have seen, and I don't know about the height difference to these skyscrapers, was the dome in Cologne. That was the biggest building I had seen up until I went to London. And it was so freaking impressive. I felt as if I was in a movie. And also, every time I looked up, which is very weird because usually people only know this feeling when they look down from a big building, and then their side gets kind of wonky and it feels all weird and your legs get wobbly. I don't know how to describe it better. I'm so sorry. But this is how I felt looking to this really impressive, massive building in front of me. Like my side got wobbly a little bit and my legs started shaking because I'm really not used to something like that. So it was really impressive for me to see all of that. And also the architecture of some of those buildings. It reminded me of German buildings sometimes, at least like older buildings. And I do come from, like I said, a very small town that does have lots and lots of old buildings that look really cool. And I did like the mixture of it. These almost ancient, really cool, nice looking buildings. And on the other hand, you have those modern, impressive looking skyscrapers, and all of it packed into one big city. I miss London. I miss London. I can't say I miss anything else about you because I haven't seen anything yet, but I do miss London.
Some of the most desirable jobs. Yes, it is busy and it's expensive, but it offers some of the most desirable jobs in the world, and there is so much to do. You'll also find some of the world's most followed sports stadiums in London too. Number 6, safety, climate, and the wildlife. The figures from the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development, which ranks each member on many criteria, including safety, placed the UK 11th out of 38 nations for safety, just behind Canada but ahead of Ireland and way ahead of the US, who are in 22nd place. They have the data to back this up too. In 2016, the UK recorded a lower homicide rate than Japan. Perhaps it's no wonder that 77%
Really?
of Brits feel safe walking home at night alone. Although we love to moan about the weather in the UK, we are very lucky that we don't experience extreme weather or natural disasters, such as drought.
Although I have heard that you guys, just like us in Germany, but a little more, will have a really rough winter time coming in the next 2 weeks with up to minus 25 degrees Celsius. I don't know about that. I mean, I love winter, don't get me wrong. It's my favorite season because I can't stand heat and I love cold. But minus 25 degrees Celsius sounds a little bit too much. So I hope it won't be that bad, but I hope it will stay cold for a long, long time.
Such as droughts, tsunamis, volcanoes, or bushfires. There are very occasional mini tornadoes and very small earthquakes, but they are barely powerful enough to knock over a garden gnome. The UK is also
When did the last natural disaster happen in the UK, like a bigger one? Is it still true? Because this video is a few years old. Is it still true what he's saying? Also about the earthquakes, are they really not that bad? We do have earthquakes in Germany as well, but as far as I know, they're not that bad either. So I guess we're really lucky, the UK and also Germany, for being in a place in the world where natural disasters don't happen that much. And also, even if tornadoes, like more or bigger tornadoes, would happen in Europe, I think we would be a little better prepared than the US just because we do have more stable houses. We have houses made of concrete and stones, and I think they would withstand tornadoes a little bit better. Oh, the only problem, now that I think about it, the only real big problem that we did have in Germany in the last years was flooding. We've had really bad floodings a few years back, and they keep on happening every single year, just not as bad anymore, but there is not a single summer without them anymore. How bad is flooding in the UK? I've never heard anything about it.
powerful enough to knock over a garden gnome. The UK is also home to next to no deadly animals such as bears, snakes, or spiders. So if you are on an adventure in the countryside, this is another thing you don't have to worry about. Number 5, the NHS, or the National Health Service. The NHS leads the world in terms of equity of access and ensuring people don't suffer financial hardship when they are ill. It also performs well in managing long-term conditions like diabetes and kidney disease, and is relatively efficient compared to other health systems around the world. The NHS usually ranks in the top 10 or 15 in the world for the best healthcare.
Hold on there. Overall healthcare ranking. UK, Switzerland, Sweden, Australia, Germany, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, France, Canada, US, right at the bottom down there. Yeah, that's no news to me. Although I had no idea that the UK system was even so much better than the Germany one is. And by now, maybe even better, because the German health system is declining year by year. It's getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know about the UK one. Maybe it started disassembling itself or being disassembled by politicians as well. But in Germany, it's really bad. What was the other statistic that he showed? I don't know what many of those mean. What's meant by government readiness? Ready for what? If something happens, they're ready to react? Is that it? But let's look at the healthcare index because this is what we're here for. South Korea, Taiwan. Yeah, I do know that their healthcare index is really high. They have really good doctors over there. Also, whenever there's a really big study coming out, most of the times it's from Asia, because I have read, for example, many studies about long COVID, and many really good studies come from like Asia, from South Korea or from Japan, for example. So yeah, I do know that. The next is Denmark, Austria, Japan, Australia, France, Spain, Belgium, and the United Kingdom. Germany's not even on this. Okay. I guess by now we're somewhere around 80 or 90. I mean, we're still better than the US. However, if you're really sick, like, I'm not talking about the usual flu or if you break an arm or a leg or something like that. If you have a real illness, a chronic illness, you won't get real help in this country anymore, unfortunately. And I know that because it's happening to me. I've been looking for doctors who can help me for over 5 years now, and there's no one. And I can't afford to pay private for doctors. But let's move on and not talk about doctors too much because it depresses me.
Healthcare systems. Not too shabby. Number 4, the higher education system. The World Universities listing estimates there are over 26,000 universities worldwide. Now, out of all of those, you could probably count on one hand the number that are global household names, and 2 of them happen to be in Britain. Yep, Oxford and Cambridge.
Oh,
They are
yeah.
still the creme of the
Heard of
crop
those
as far
before.
as higher education is concerned. And you've also got Durham too. And the reason for their renown isn't just historical. Across the whole of Britain, the higher education system consistently delivers some of the best results on the planet. Students travel from all corners of the planet to study in the UK. In doing so, they will also get to experience UK nightlife and the quality of life and safety that comes with it. Number 3, castles.
About the education system, I will have to watch a video about that because he said it's really good because we have those universities, but he's not talking about the overall education system. And from what I've heard, again, from my YouTube comments, people have told me that when I talked about the German education system in another video and said that it is declining real fast, people in the comments have told me that the same is happening in the UK as well. For example, here in Germany, the last years, because pupils are not that educated anymore in general, we are lowering our standards instead of trying to help those children to get the same education or to the same levels of education like other generations have. We are instead lowering the standards and tell everyone that everything is still fine. Which is so weird. Maybe you can let me know in the comments what's your experience, especially if you've seen more than just one generation, or if you are from the younger generation. What are your feelings about the education system? Do you feel educated still? Do you feel as if, like, I don't even know that. If you are like, let's say, a normal child in the UK, do you even have the chance to get into one of those mentioned universities? Or are those places reserved for people who come from richer families? I didn't even know about that. I know it's hard to get into them, but the only knowledge that I do have about universities, because I've never been to one, comes from television, for example, like Gilmore Girls. And I don't think that's really accurate for the real world, so please help me out here. What do you think about the UK's education system, and if you've seen more generations than just one, can you see it decline? Or is it the same standards than what you were used to when you went to school?
With it. Number 3, castles and ruins. The UK is old as hell, therefore it has many ancient ruins, castles,
Just like
and structures
Germany.
to be
Yeah,
discovered
we do
far
have as
and
well.
wide.
Oh,
In
look at
England
this.
alone, there are said to
Beautiful.
be around 4,000 castles.
Wow.
So if you're from a relatively new country like Australia, New Zealand, or Canada, or even America, then you may have never seen a castle
Oh,
or
that's a
ancient building
beautiful
before.
one.
So coming to the UK provides an authentic
Wow.
historical viewing. Number 2, discovering countries and the Commonwealth. Britain created countries such as Australia, Singapore, and the USA, in which, in the short space of around 300 years, have become world leaders in so many aspects. No other country can claim to have created anything close to what Britain has achieved. In doing so, its legacy has continued to evolve. Much of what was once the British Empire continues to be part of the Commonwealth. an alliance of 54 nations across the world with a combined population of over 2 billion, long after the empire has ceased to exist. Number 1.
Just a quick thought, has nothing to do with the video whatsoever. We do have the Eurovision Song Contest, and it's called the Eurovision Song Contest Euro for a reason. But those past years, Australia has always been in the contest without even being in Europe. Does it have something to do with the Commonwealth, or is it just a coincidence? But now that I see this map again, it kind of would make sense. Just kind of, because it's still not part of Europe, so I still don't understand it. But this would be a possible explanation. So you tell me, is that the reason, or do you know the real reason? Because I don't.
Has ceased to exist. Number 1. Inventions. The UK invented most of the technology that the modern world runs on. The TV, the computer, and the World Wide Web. And while Marconi
really?
was Italian, he developed his wireless radio transmission in the UK. The list of British inventions is endless. The UK also developed most of the world's most popular sports, such as football or soccer, rugby, cricket, tennis, and golf. The UK is a world leader in the arts, particularly literature and theatre, from Shakespeare to Andrew Lloyd Webber, from Chaucer to J.K. Rowling. We've also had a big impact on music, TV, movies, and video games, such as Harry Potter and James Bond. So there we have it, 10 reasons why we think the UK is one of, if not the best country in the world, or countries. Of course, as we mentioned before, it's not perfect, it does have many issues, but as a whole, it is a very safe and friendly country where people from all across the world decide to emigrate to. So what is your thoughts on the UK? Do you live here? Perhaps you've never been before and you'd love to visit. Let us know in the comment section below what you think. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to drop a like, and if you love this sort of content and learning about countries and cities from around the world, then consider subscribing. It's completely free and we've got plenty more to come. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you very soon in the next video.
Thank you so much for this video. It was really entertaining and also much information in it. Although, I have to say, after seeing all of this, I know where he's coming from when he says it's the best country in the world. But many of the things that he said are quite similar for Germany and also other European countries, I guess. So I wouldn't say the UK is the best country in the world, even if I lived in it. I don't say Germany is the best country in the world. I wouldn't be able to tell you which country is the best country of the world, if there is any to begin with. And if I would have to say or make up a country that's the best in the world, I wouldn't look at stuff like this, although I do understand why I did. But I would look at how happy are the people in this country in general, and then say, okay, those people are the happiest in the country. And I think there's a happiness index for different countries, if I'm correct. And I would take that as an indicator for the best country in the world. But that's no criticism about that video. That video was really cool, and I am happy that I was able to watch it. So many things that I have learned about the UK already, and there is still stuff that I didn't know about it, and it's so exciting. It's like a real big puzzle, and with every video that I watch, there's like a little piece that goes into the puzzle to create a full picture about the country. So what do you think about it? The most important thing for me, the stuff that he said, is it correct? Because sometimes I do watch videos and people tell me in the comments like, oh, what the person said in the video is incorrect because. And those are really important comments that I need as a guidance in order to get through the jungle of information about the country. But I think all of what he said was correct. At least it feels like it. Might be a little outdated here and there when it comes to, for example, safety or health or education, things that went downhill in all Europe together. I don't know about that anymore, but I guess all the rest of it might be still accurate. Let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you like the video, please consider subscribing, liking, hyping the video in order to help me out. I'm still a small channel and I need your help. And I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye!